Hey, I'm Suzanne.
And I'm Annie.
And we have 111 years
experience.
And today we were just talking about one of our listeners, viewers, what do you call them? I don't know. Sent us a question about how we came up with our kids' names.
Okay.
So we were just talking about
that. Was a really good question. Shout out Shannon Turley. Love you, Shannon Turley. So let's start with...
She's one of our super fans.
She is. She is, and she happens to have the same name as your daughter.
She does. She was actually our first guest.
Yes, she was.
On this podcast almost a year ago now.
Oh, wow.
We're going to have a year celebration or something.
I think it would have already passed because I think we started the first week of June, didn't we?
Did we? I thought we didn't start till July.
I thought it was June.
Oh, I don't know. We're going to have to look it up.
Yeah. Senior moment.
Yeah, imagine that.
If you want me to, I can look it up real quickly.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, how did you come up with your daughter's names?
Well, the first one, I'll do my firstborn and you do your firstborn, and then
Okay, sure.
We'll go back and forth. All right, so when we found out we were going to have a baby, we started talking about, names going back and forth. And it was really hard. We couldn't decide. By then I'd been teaching, that was my third year, going into my fourth year. And so Greg would say name, I'd be like, nope, not that one.
Not that name. There's certain names you can't have.
Anybody that's a teacher knows what I'm talking about.
No,
not that one.
Names
nope, not that one. Or there are so many of these names we can't name her this or that or him that.
Because it's going to be so common.
Yes. There were so many of them.
They trend.
Oh my gosh, yes. So I was trying to come up with something that I hadn't heard 1,000 times, And when we found out she was a girl, Greg still didn't really believe she was a girl, even though he saw her. Or maybe he didn't get to go to the ultrasound. I'm trying to remember if he was there. I thought he was there. Maybe he wasn't.
But he just didn't believe
he
for
just
sure.
wasn't sure. He was like, I just don't know if there's, I'm sure.
The odds are 50-50, and they're telling me it's a girl, but are we 100%? No, we're not 100%.
He's like, what if? What if?
Yep.
So what we need to do is come up with a name that will go for both. So, surprise, it's a boy. We're not stuck with, well, now what are we going to name it?
Right.
So he was like, let's get a name that we both like that could go with a boy or a girl. So
yeah.
So I was trying to think of people that I knew that were girls and boys with the same name, and I came up with Shannon. So I had a friend that I grew up with when I was little that was a boy, Shannon.
Okay.
And then I went to college with, she was in my fraternity, and me and her were co-captains on the guard in college. So, and we had, back and forth all the time. So we were good friends, and her name was Shannon. So I knew a boy and a girl, Shannon.
Right.
So we knew that we were covered there.
Right.
And then, like a year or two earlier, I think I looked it up, and it was 1992. She wasn't born until 94. There was a movie called Far and Away, and there was one of the main characters was Nicole Kidman, and that was when her hair was that red. It's not red like that anymore because
red
she dyes
curls.
it. Yeah,
it was beautiful
wild
red curls.
hair. And she was Irish, and her name was Shannon. And so between all of those Shannons, we just were like, and it was kind of leaning in the Irish direction. I was like, I really like that.
Mm-hmm. It's real pretty.
Yes. So that was where we got Shannon.
Okay.
Now Taylor, it was the same thing. It was like, where are we going to find a boy name and a girl name? And, so I knew a lot of Taylors at school. Luckily, I didn't boy Taylors. I knew several of them that I didn't hate any of them, which was good. And I knew a couple of girl Taylors, which was unusual. It was more a boy name than a girl name at the time.
Right.
But there still were some girl Taylors. And I thought, well, there's another one. That's a boy name and a girl name. And it was fairly popular. It wasn't.
Yeah. There was other Taylors around.
Yeah, there were other Taylors around. I thought, well, it's not going to be her first name.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be, if she has a common middle name, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then when we realized her initials were going to be STP, like the oil, since her father 9 times out of 10 at the time, not now, but back then, would have his head under a hood of a car.
It just seemed appropriate.
It just seemed like it fit. So I was like, yep, I think that's going to be her name.
I love that.
So that's where we came up with Shannon's. Where did you come up with Stephen's?
Well, the Stephen part, we had talked about before our children were born, if it was a boy child, he was going to come up with the name. And if it was a girl child, I would come up with the name. So we'd already talked about that, years before.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not really the kind of I didn't have a feeling of I needed to control this. Does that make sense? I didn't. I really was just okay, whatever.
As you were saying that, I'm like, I don't think I could give up that much control.
No, I was it wasn't on my list of priorities at that point.
I needed a say in that.
No, I was fine with it. It was if it was a boy, then okay, he won the flip. And if it was a girl, then I won the flip and I was going to get to name him. And he would not have any say. Do you know what I'm saying? The same way.
Yeah,
he would not have any say.
The same way. I think he'd be like, no, wait a minute.
So, anyway, I think it was his grandmother, maybe on his father's side, that had an S in their name, and so they in their family they used the first initial. Okay. So the Stephen is for the S in his grandmother's name. I think she was Sylvia, so we used the S for Stephen. The way we came up with Stephen too was. He wanted a name that was 2 syllables. He really liked the 2-syllable, 1-syllable last name, and then your last name. So you have a rhythm to it, So you have a rhythm to it, and so he really liked that, and so that was it. His middle name is Rush. And he was a big fan of Rush Limbaugh, and he used to ride around in the car all the time and listen to talk radio because that was his job. He drove all over.
That's right. He was in the car.
Yeah, he was in the car all the time. So he listened a lot to Rush Limbaugh, and so I think that was a part of the middle name picking Rush, but it was also in my family. So on the Quillen side, I believe there was someone named Rushmore. There was also someone named Pridemore. So so it was in the family. It was something I'd heard. It was not completely
just out of the blue
or whatever. And honestly, I really liked it once we, I too liked the thing of the 2-syllable, the one, with a little bit of a rhythm. Yeah. So that was kind of how we came across that. But we didn't know for sure because back in those days, I had one ultrasound in the middle, and I had to have mine early. So I couldn't find out what the sex was. So we did not know what the sex of either of our children was before they were born.
Oh.
Neither one.
Oh, wow.
So it was still a coin flip. I mean, it really could have been me. It could have been him. We were just waiting to see what. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
What was the name that you picked if it was a girl?
If it was a girl, it would have been Emily. And I really just liked the Emily. I just liked the name Emily. I thought it was really pretty. It sounds feminine. I thought, I don't know. I just really liked it. It was just sweet. And the middle name was Elaine, after my mom. So if he would have been a girl, he would have been Emily Elaine. Now, I also had a few of them. I liked Emily Ann, but that seemed a little too much for me. Too much me in it. And I thought I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't feel comfortable with that. And then I thought about Emily Anna Lee, but that just seemed like a lot of
that's a that's
and
mouthful.
So I was like, that doesn't have a good rhythm. So when it was all said and done, if he would have been a girl, he would have been Emily Elaine.
Okay.
So that was him. Yeah, that's Steve-O. And then I will say we've called him every variation of everything that you can think of for Steve. Steven, Esteban, Steve Marino, Steve-O. I mean,
where did Esteban come from?
It's Spanish for Steven.
Oh. Esteban. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so we've called him everything under the books when it comes to any variation you could think of.
Yeah.
I think my dad called him Steven Innerush. Steven
Innerush.
Innerush. Yes. And his initials are SRT. So but it was not, it didn't equal anything. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, you never know. It was yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So what about your other daughter, your younger daughter?
Well, when we found out we're going to have another, and that one, we had 3 ultrasounds before we could figure out what she was.
Oh, wow.
And the only reason was because my doctor liked me. And she was like, bring that ultrasound thing in here. Let's look. And she kept going, she kept turning around and turning around. And we couldn't get a good read on her at all. And she was like, because by then it was 1998. And she had an ultrasound. It wasn't like you had to go to another place to get an ultrasound.
Because it used to be very hard to get an ultrasound. Like you had to make an appointment. You got one.
It was in a whole nother
And that was the other thing is
building.
you got one.
Yeah.
That was what I...
And I think you had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like we had to go to the hospital.
It was like a thing. It wasn't like it is now where they just pop open a computer and roll it over and squirt the gel on it and start rolling it around.
It was a whole thing. But by then, Dr. Puckett had gotten one in her office.
So she could do whatever she wanted to do at that point.
So, yeah, she was like, and I had a cyst on my ovary when I was pregnant with Shannon. So she was having to watch that too. So that was another reason she was like, well, we need to keep an eye on this because
you don't need to have a burst cyst and be pregnant. You don't need that.
And so she was like, well, that's another reason we need to keep doing these because I need to make sure you're not growing one in there like you did the last time. Because they had to, when I had my C-section, they had to take it out. When they took the baby out, they took that out too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And so they had to put me all the way asleep after they took her out. She was like, I'm going to get this. That wasn't Dr. Puckett. That was a different doctor. I was in Franklin. But she said, while you're asleep or while I got you wide open, I'm just going to take this cyst out. So I'm going to knock you out now. I went,
good night.
Okay.
Good night.
And that was it. But I think I was a lot more sore than normal than I would have been otherwise. Sure. But I'm glad she took it out and we didn't have to worry about that anymore.
Sure.
Because it had gotten bigger. But with the second one, since Shannon's name, my name has 2 N's in it. Shannon's name had 2 N's in it. So I kind of wanted to do another name that had two letters that were doubles, 2 double letters. And I thought, And I was looking around for, and kind of Irish leaning a little, and found Cassidy. And it's funny because I was like, oh, I like that name because I hadn't heard anybody called Cassidy before, not a girl. I had, when I was little, probably 11, 12 years old, I had Sean Cassidy was like very popular. David Cassidy was on Partridge Family.
Right.
That was his older brother. And then Sean Cassidy was like up and coming little teeny bopper star. So I had his picture all over. I was probably 6th grade, all over my wall. All over. Like every Teen Beat magazine I could get a hold of with his picture. And I got it. And
right.
And my mom was just like, oh my God, too much pictures. But it was all over my wall. So that was another, I thought, oh, that would work. That would work. So Cassidy, I was like, I like that. And I told Greg, he was like, yeah, I like that too. He goes, what if it's a boy? And I'm like, I don't think it's going to be a boy. I think it's going to be a girl. And when they finally got a hold of her where they could see, and they were like, no, this is a girl. And he didn't, I think he believed me the second time.
He was like, she was right the first time.
It was a girl. I can see it. It's really straightforward.
Yes.
No problem. Plus, they were more detailed than they were,
even the previous one,
prior.
right?
Yeah.
Even a few years. It was kind of amazing to watch the technology.
Just in 4 years, how much that better had they gotten. So I had Cassidy, and then he was like, well, what do we do with the middle name? And I don't know why I thought of it, but my sister's middle name is Lee, Connie Lee, Lea. And Greg's sister's name, her middle name is Ann. She goes by Ann, but her name is Patricia Ann.
Okay.
So I thought, what if we took Lee Ann and made them Leanne together and have them for both sisters.
Yeah.
And she's the only sister I have, and she's the only sister he has, so it worked out
really good.
Yeah, we didn't have to worry about making somebody mad or anything.
No, I love that.
Yeah. And I had a friend that I taught with for years and years, Leanne Kobeck, and the way she spelled it was exactly the way that I wanted to spell it. So I knew in my head what it would look like, and that it was okay because I knew somebody that had that name.
And it was spelled that way. You felt really good about it.
And then capital A-N-N.
Right,
so.
right.
Yeah. So that's how we came up with Cassidy Leanne.
I love that. She's named for her aunts.
She's named for her aunts.
Oh, I love that. I didn't know that. That was good stuff. Hey, I'm learning something new today. I love that.
Yeah.
So my youngest, Barry, is named after his grandfather, who unfortunately passed away a year after Stephen was born. So in between we got married and had our oldest son, in between that, unfortunately, Mike's father passed away, and also his grandmother passed away. So Barry's name is derived from the Barry being from Barry, was his grandfather's name.
Dad.
And then Mike's dad's name.
Yeah.
And then Mike's grandmother's name was Dorothy, and so he wanted to use the D.
Oh,
so it's Barry Drew. And the Drew was what and Mike liked that two-syllable. Yeah. two beats on the first. Yeah. And then 2 beats and then 1 beat. Yeah. So he liked that. So, and I was completely fine with it. Now we did have the same agreement that because once again, I had to have
Emily Elaine?
because no, I did it because I wanted to use the B and the D.
Oh,
so
okay.
I really wanted to use the B and the D because we'd just been through a lot with, all that. And I felt like that was completely appropriate to do that. I really liked that idea. And, but if it would have been Barry, if Barry had been a girl, he would have been Barry, Bari, instead of Barry, and Danielle. Barry Danielle. So I would have I would have totally taken Mike's little 2 beats, 1 beat thing.
Messed it up a little bit, but it's okay. But still a B and the D.
Barry Danielle he would have been Barry Danielle Thomas.
Oh.
BDT. Either way, he'd have been BDT. Yeah. So he was. But when back in the day, I was gestational diabetic. So I had to go in, and they really needed to make sure that they had the right date of how far along I was, because everything was always a little wonky. And so because of that, I had to also once again have my ultrasound. They gave you one ultrasound and I had to have it at the beginning. So I didn't know he was going to be a boy until I gave birth to him. So I didn't know. So we always came up with both. Yeah. And then we did things that weren't necessarily related to gender, for their nursery and stuff. We did Sesame Street, which could have been either boy or girl. Yeah. We kind of did stuff that was going to be Barney. It was either. Right. It would have worked fine for either. Yep. It was cute and, stuff like that. We just really didn't. Yeah, we did too. We were kind of I
did 101 Dalmatians for Shannon.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah. Yeah.
And did that red chair. I took red paint and painted that chair railing and painted all the trim. I sat on that floor, very pregnant.
Yes, yeah.
And painted that trim when we had that ice storm because I couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, you might as well.
So I painted red all over the trim, and then I painted the room white, and then me and my friend Dana, we took potatoes and cut them apart and used black paint and did Dalmatian spots on the chair rail down.
Oh, that's so cute. I bet that was adorable.
It was very cute. And it hurt my heart when I had to paint over those.
Oh, you were
we worked so hard on those polka dots. Oh, all those Dalmatian spots. And then after we did the big ones with the potatoes, I went back with a paintbrush and did little ones to make it look real. I thought, this looks like a cow.
It needed more.
Yeah. Because Dalmatians they have big blotches, but then they have little small ones too. So I went back and added some little ones. Yeah. All the way around the room.
Yeah, we did with our oldest, we had done Sesame Street, and Mike always liked Sesame Street growing up, and we loved it. So it was easy. Yeah. Easy to do. Mom helped us pay up paper because we lived in this little tiny house. Yeah. And she helped us paper the walls and put up a border.
Oh, hey, yes.
That's kind of, what was
that's the thing. What we did.
Yeah, and so it was very simple, but it was very cute. And she helped so much in making little blankets and stuff for Steven. And then when we had Barry, we were moving around quite a bit. So we had
executive producer over here.
Yeah, we had the Barney stuff already. And so I just transitioned some of the Barney stuff in there. And the boys shared a room for a short time. And so they were sharing a room. And so it really didn't matter at that point because there wasn't going to be a theme anyway for him because it was going to be shared. So and so it was fine.
I know, poor Cass, that second kid, bless him.
They don't ever get the spotlight.
The first kid gets all of the everything on the wall and the comforter and the sheets and everything matches. And poor old Cass, I had her in the office. Yeah. And I had her bedding was Noah's Ark. And it had Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark. I remember a lot of the Noah's Ark stuff. Yeah.
And it had I had a Noah's Ark light switch. Mm-hmm. And then her Noah's Ark bedding, and that was it. Mm-hmm. That was it. And she had a Noah's Ark blanket. Mm-hmm. That was it. Because we didn't have room. She was in the office. We didn't have room for anything
that was
else.
the other thing about it was like there was
the upstairs wasn't done.
We were still moving around so much.
Yeah.
And we were not necessarily going to be where we were going to be for a long time.
Right, yeah.
So everything was in transition at that point in time. It wasn't until they got older and we actually settled down kind of after we moved to Tennessee that they actually got rooms that were settled for them.
Yeah.
That they could.
Once we got the upstairs done and moved Shannon upstairs, and then I did the red, white, and blue because she was in gymnastics. By then she was like 8. Mm-hmm. And so she went up there.
That's when.
And that's when I painted the pink, that room pink, because Cass wanted pink, because she wanted Tinkerbell.
Okay.
So that's when I had to paint over my Dalmatian spots. It just about killed me.
There was tears.
I was like, I don't want to paint over the Dalmatian spots. They're so cute. But yeah.
Yeah.
Sad day.
Yes. It was such a good, I would say, it's such a busy time in your life, but it's also such a, like, they have the sweetest memories.
Oh, yeah.
I have the sweetest memory, but I remember, too, how hard it was.
Yeah.
It was hard.
It was hard.
It was a hard time. But
Good thing I was young.
yeah. Yeah. For real. But no, I have really good memories of all those crazy things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, where does your name come from?
Edith Ann.
Yeah.
Okay. I have my mother's mother. No, mother. So it'd be my great-grandmother.
Great-grandmother.
So my mom's grandmother was Edith.
Okay.
Now, she also named her daughter's middle name was Edith.
Oh.
Okay, so this is complex, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Then we have mom's sisters are Barbara Ann and Lexi Ann.
Oh.
So that's mom's sisters. So she got the Edith and the Ann. Mm-hmm. Then my other grandmother was Anna Lee.
Oh.
So I became Edith Ann, which I hated in kindergarten.
I bet.
Like I really was not feeling the Edith at that point.
Yeah.
Now I'm very proud of the fact that that's my name. But when you're a little kid and I said to them,
wouldn't that
Lily Tomlin.
Yeah, I was like, who is it that was in the rocking
big
chair?
Rocking
She
chair,
was Edith Ann, wasn't she?
And that is not who I wanted to be thought of at all. I was much cuter and cooler than that little girl. But yeah, now I think it's hilarious.
Right, yeah.
But at the time when I was a little girl, I was like, no, call me Annie. Well, then I got, Mom spelled my name Ann with an E. And not A-N-N. It's A-N-N-E. And so there was a lot of mix up of how they pronounced that. So my kindergarten report card has like long notes of what do we call this kid? What is it mom wants us to call her? Because sometimes she
not the first name.
Because sometimes my family would call me Ann, Annie, Sis.
Oh.
Never really called me Edith because they knew I didn't like it that much.
Okay, yeah.
And so, so like, they were like, well, what is your
controversy.
name? It was controversial. There was a lot of going back and forth with the whole Edith Ann. And so when I was in kindergarten, I remember telling the teacher, my name is going to be Annie.
My name is Annie.
And I remember telling my mom, I want to be Annie.
Okay.
Annie is better than
So you picked Annie.
Ann.
They didn't.
And there was already an Ann in my kindergarten.
Oh,
so it worked out. That was actually like part of the reason was an Ann in my kindergarten, and I didn't want to be her. I wanted to be me.
Right.
And this was a way to separate them. But
that makes sense.
It's
That's funny.
And so that's kind of how it all ended up. Edith Ann is from my great grandmother, my grandmother. I'm named after both my grandmothers and both my aunts.
Yeah.
She got them all in there.
She just did good.
Yeah, she did. She did.
She made everybody happy.
Except for me in kindergarten.
Not so much.
After I got older, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. But like when you're 5, 6, 7, and you just want to be like, all your friends are Candy and Sandy and Amy and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So it was like, oh man, they were all had that at the end of their, I wanted to be that too,
Yeah. That's funny. Well, I have a funny story about mine. Okay, so my mom was going to name me Prudence.
Really?
I'm so glad she did.
Prudence.
I would have hated that name so badly. I think it was a family name.
Okay.
And she wanted to name me that. And I think my dad was like, nope.
Wow.
I think. I'm not sure why she didn't, but she changed her mind at the last minute. And I don't even know where she came up with Suzanne.
Yeah.
But she was going to name me Suzanne Elizabeth because
Okay.
my Elizabeth is, I don't know if it's my grandmother or my great grandmother. It might have been her grandmother's name. I'm not sure which one. It was one of them. So it wasn't Ma's name, but I think it might have been her mom's name. But she didn't. She was like, it's just going to be Suzanne. So on my birth certificate, there's not a middle name.
Oh, really?
She said, I just thought Suzanne Elizabeth was too long. So fast forward to second grade.
Yes.
We're sitting at the table having a milk break. You remember milk breaks?
Yeah, I remember milk breaks. They bring in the thing of milk.
We went to the cafeteria.
You
and
have to
had
go
a milk
pick it
break.
up?
And we would get our milk and we would sit around the table and drink our milk and talk. So we were sitting around and everybody was saying what their middle name was. Well, I didn't have a middle name. They didn't come to me yet. I was like, I got to come up with a middle name. And we always watched the Waltons.
Uh-huh.
And the baby of the family was a redheaded name, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth,
And I
yes.
was like, yeah, I like her.
I like that one.
I like that one. So, I'm saying in my head, I think that goes.
Yeah.
So by the time they get to me, they're like, what's your middle name? And I said, Elizabeth. And they were like, oh, okay. And went on and on and on. And from that, after that, everybody that ever asked me what my middle name was, I said Elizabeth.
For years.
For like, it's on my,
Is it on your...
it's on everything.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, I never changed it legally, but it's on my high school diploma. It's in my yearbook. It's on my college degree.
I love this.
Because that was mine. I wanted that name.
You picked it.
But what's funny is she was going to name me that, and then she
just didn't. She
And I'm
just thought
like-
that was too big of a name for a
I said,
tiny
did
baby.
you not think I was going to grow? I mean, yeah, I was 7 pounds, but you didn't think I was going to grow? So I picked my middle name.
Well, it sounds like you picked it together, but at different times.
But at different times, yeah. So if you have a story about your kid's middle name or your name or anything like that, or how in the world did you come up with your kids' names?
Yeah, if you have a good story about how you came up with
in the comments.
the name, we'd love to know. We'd love to know.
Those stories are always fun.
They are always fun.
So thanks again for that question, Shan.
Thanks, Shannon.
And please share this because the more we get back from you guys, the more we can put out.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
So would you say like and subscribe and
Like,
share it out?
subscribe, share.
All the things.
Everything. Everything. all of our platforms, and don't be shy, friends.
Yeah. Give us some questions.
Give us some questions.
We love them.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.